Dr. Jazz. Dr. Jazz.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. No, it's funny. I mean, I was aware that was going to be influential just because Brad was just so spectacular, and spectacular is not even the word. The spectacular is one of the many things he was. So lyrical, beautiful, just such an amazing, and very charismatic too, in that sense, and uh, in a deep way. So I just felt extremely fortunate that with Brad we had this affinity that also it just happened in the most natural way. When I saw Brad playing the first time I saw him, which was the day before I played with him, because we had some gigs in Spain with Perico, and my brother with this Crossing records in Fresh Sound, those that was in '91, and I was playing. Yeah, so it's about the same time. So that's the thing. Yeah, when I went this thing, I was a bebop head in the sense that was my passion. But of course, I also saw myself as an eclectic person, curious and open, and I like all kinds of music. So I saw Brad just the day before going to the airport. I just went to see him to the Village Gate, and he was playing with Pete Bernstein and with Jimmy Cobb, and John Weber on bass. So it was also the Jimmy Cobb live. So it was like, wow, I fucking loved it,
Yeah,
And I love Jimmy Cobb, of course. Jimmy Cobb has had been a big influence for me, actually. Just I think in terms of the pulse, the person that I imitated the most, especially at that moment after, years, Jimmy Cobb was really a model. Philly Joe too, but Jimmy Cobb even closer in some ways, Miles at the Black Hawk was like a big...
That's killing record, yeah.
And his pulse is something that I can, that rhythm section with Wynton Kelly. But then when I saw Brad, he sounded to me like somebody who was so much into Wynton Kelly that he had fucking digested him so much that he didn't sound like somebody who's checking out Wynton Kelly or trying to sound like him. He sounded like himself, but who had absorbed Wynton Kelly's language in some ways and already mixed it with some other stuff, but so like he knew it from the inside so much. I mean, that's just my perception. It's a little bit of a fantasy now. If I listen back, of course he has, but yeah, Brad, I don't think he never systematically checked out anybody in a really, not even Wynton Kelly. He just loved him, and his ears are amazing,
Yeah.
He was playing with Jimmy Cobb. Yeah. So that came out. But so that's my first impression of what I heard that night, But then, of course, with my own insecurity, I was thinking, wow, this guy is not going to be too excited playing with me. He's so much into Wynton Kelly, and he's already playing with Jimmy Cobb. I don't have much to offer here. But whatever, I'm going to enjoy the ride. But then the next day, even in the sound check, when we started playing, he sounded completely different. It was like that was my comfort zone, which made me feel more confident because, this guy is some bad motherfucker, but he was 6 years younger than me. And I was playing with Perico, who was my friend, and we've been playing together for years, and with my brother, he's coming into my territory. So, and then he sounded like he had been the piano player in our band for 10 years. And he, from bar one,
Yeah.
That's how Brad is, no? He's just extremely intuitive, very clear too, because that's the thing. His ears are extremely fast. I felt immediately that the smaller nuance that I would do in the cymbal was understood. Not that he would respond to it. He wasn't like, oh, I'm here. No, not that kind of thing. Is that, oh, cool. Yeah, I know what you mean. Cool. And at the same time, and same with each note that the bass played or the, anything that was played, it was assimilated. And at the same time, he's developing his ideas in a very long term. So he's not getting distracted by all this information. He's still has his story to tell, and he's thinking long term. And you can see how, especially in recordings, like after several solos, that motif here, it is the result of that.
It's incredible. Yeah.
It's really, and that's why it's so easy to play with him, because everything he plays is really logical. So it's really, and he's very clear. It's easy to know what he's going to do, and at the same time, he's very open and really conversational. Like he wants to be fed stuff. So he responds if you give, and actually if you don't, I feel he doesn't say it, but he kind of he puts the vibe that is like, yeah, okay. So anyway, I think it's very easy to connect with Brad, but maybe, and for everybody sounds great with him. But it's true that maybe we did have a special connection because it felt from the first moment, and we played together all these years, and still love each other and have a great time playing together. So it just happened extremely naturally, So then, that's what I felt. And I already, at that time I played with Brad, I already had developed these great musical relationships with Kurt, with Chris Chick, with Mark Turner, because they were my Berkeley pals.